Good morning, students. Welcome back to integers actually. In integers, so far we have learned about what are integers, that is negative integers, neutral integers, and positive integers. Then we have learned about comparing the integers, then addition and subtraction of integers. Now we will learn today a new concept about integers, and that is called as absolute value of integers. Children, absolute value means the actual thing. Now here you can see a number line. Okay, to if you see the central one as a 0, and to the right hand side and left hand side you can see there are two markings, red color. The right hand side is positive, the left hand side is negative. Now you will say that if you count this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, it is minus 7 and plus 7. To left of 0 it is minus 7, and to right of 0 it is plus 7. As an integer it is minus and plus, but what about the distance from those integers from 0? It is 7 units. You cannot say that the distance can be negative. If I am going, suppose Pune to Mumbai, if it is positive, then Pune to Solapur, I cannot say I traveled 200 kilometers, right? So distance, when you say, it is actually the actual value which is called as absolute value of an integer, right? The distance of some number from 0 on the number line is called as absolute value. Absolute value of an integer or any absolute value is always positive. Okay, see here, 7 units, 7 units. Distance is positive, so the absolute value of minus 7 is also positive, and the absolute value of 7 is also positive. Now, the distance of some number from 0 on a number line is always a positive. Okay, now see, the absolute value of 7 is 7, and the absolute value of minus 7 is also 7. Now, while evaluating the expression, evaluate means find the value of the expression. Let us see what happens. Here is one example. Okay, first to evaluate, first let's find out the absolute values of few integers. The absolute value of plus 3, when there is no sign, we consider that as plus 3, right? So, the absolute value of plus 3 is 3. The absolute value of minus 68 is 68. Now, let us see what happens if I add the absolute values of 6 and minus 9. Now, what is the absolute value of 6? It is 6. The absolute value of minus 9, we all know that the absolute value is always a positive number. So, the absolute value of minus 9 over here is 9. So, the sum is 15. Now let us see this. Now we have learned addition. Now let us see the subtraction. Now the absolute value of minus 8 is 8 and absolute value of minus 9 is 9. If we subtract that, we will get 1. But what is the bigger number sign? That is 9 sign is minus. So the answer is minus 1. Now, let us find the absolute value of each integer over here. First is minus 21. The absolute value is 21. Second is 14, and these two standing lines, now children, I'm sorry I forgot to tell you, those are called modals, right? So, absolute value of 14, when you need to write absolute value of some integer, you have to put those modals on both the sides of integer. So absolute value of 14 is 14. Absolute value of minus 1 is 1. Absolute value of 21. Now let us see the absolute value in real life. Okay, let us see this, very interesting. An eyeglass prescription is given as a positive or negative number. That we also know that if you have spectacles, we say my number is minus 0.5, minus 2.25, or if the elderly person is there, he will say plus 1 or plus 1.25. Okay, now a prescription for a person who is far-sighted is positive. A prescription for a person who is nearsighted is negative. The greater absolute value, the stronger the prescription. Remember this, the greater absolute value, the stronger the prescription. Which prescription is stronger, -3 or 2? Think about the problem. Now let's see this example. A seagull is flying at an altitude of 107 feet. Okay, and a shark is swimming at a depth of 112 feet relative to the sea level. Now we all know that above the sea level is positive while below the sea level is negative. We consider as integers. Which animal is farther from sea level? Whose absolute value is stronger? That is sharks. Right? Absolute value of -112 is 112 because that is the actual distance. Right? Now let's compare. Absolute value of -4 is 4 and absolute value of -3 is 3. So obviously absolute value of -4 is greater than absolute value of -3. Now absolute value of 12 and absolute value of -12. Both are equal because both absolute values are same. They are going to be positive. Now absolute value of -20 and absolute value of 10. Absolute value of -20 is 20. Right? So obviously 20 is greater than 10. Now here, absolutely right. -15, absolute value of -15 is greater than absolute value of -14. Now here, one is absolute value and one is a normal integer. But the absolute value of -7 is 7. So it is greater because it is a distance. Always remember. Now one is integer, children. It is -5. It is not given as absolute value. But whereas the absolute value of -4, that is 4. So it is always greater. This is normal integer. This is equal.